One of the reasons is probably because of my engineering background. And I care so much about the sound and engineering and the emotion that it gives off. I don't listen to music with my ears. I listen with my gut and my heart and my soul. And my ears are just a way to get to that, you know? So, and that's the only thing that can give you goosebumps. That's right. And that's what we're really trying to go for with this music shit, to promote and give people goosebumps.
Sticky icky on some West Coast shit. Badass bitches on the Sunset Strip. 105.9, yeah, that's my shit. Yeah, I'm on some West Coast shit. LA next nigga, run your shit. It felt good to me too, that's why I stopped. I was like, God damn.
To many, Dr. Dre is known as one of the most prominent producers of all time, and many of his records have become sonic references for many top mixing and mastering engineers. But one thing that stands above everything in his records is his crisp and clean vocals. But how does he go about achieving that sound? Well, in today's video, I'm going to be breaking down Dr. Dre's vocal mixing and recording secrets. The real secret to Dr. Dre's vocal sound is starting off with picking the right artist. By choosing to work with artists that had a clear and distinct voice, Dre was able to get a head start.
I really like working with artists that have interesting voices. If you notice, most of the artists I've worked with, you'll know their voice as soon as you hear them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that was one of the things that really turned me on.
Yeah, Pro Tools are fucking up again, yeah.
While Dre has worked with many different artists, one thing has stayed consistent with his setup, and that's his use of the Sony C800G microphone, which Dre preferred because of the clarity it provided.
The day that we did California Love, I rented one of those Sony C800 mics. Dre still uses it to today. Dre got on the mic, he did that. He said, Big Rick, what kind of mic is this? I said, it's a new Sony. It just came out. I said, it's about $6,000 to $8,000. Dre recorded his vocal. He came out, called his guy up, and said, buy me 2 of these Sony microphones right now.
And if you've been watching my channel for any period of time, you know at this point the classic combination is the Sony C800G into the 1073, which Dre uses.
And now Eminem has the same thing. Dr. Dre's using it. Everybody's got the 1073. They got the Sony mic. So they all know to have a good source, no matter where you're recording, home studio, this and that, it's going to show really well in the end.
From there, Dre goes into a compressor, but not just any compressor. One of Dre's most used vocal compressors of choice is the DBX160. I don't think that it's a coincidence that you'll see him with a rack of them almost wherever he goes. Even nearly 20 years later at his new studio, you'll see the exact same configuration with 4 of these compressors. Even some of Dr. Dre's mentees like Mixed by Ali admit to using this.
Lead vocal. DBX160.
Really? Cool.
You go down, my favorite is actually the DBX160. All my vocals, anytime I record, I got the Neve 1073. I go straight from the mic, straight into the Neve, straight into here, straight to tape. Cleanest signal flow. It's not going through the board. It's not, you're not busting it. You're not, you know, so as you do different tracks, you're just moving from the input to the input to the input, and it gets the cleanest signal possible, because really, you just want the cleanest signal, the cleanest source to really build off of. So if the left stuff you put in line with it, the less electronics, it's just, you know, you're going to get the best transparency and clarity out of it. And, you know, it's really straightforward.
What's up, y'all? This is George T here, and I usually don't go on camera, but I wanted to talk to y'all about one of my new membership programs called the Sonic Study Group. Now, as y'all know, in this channel, I drop a ton of gems from mixing, recording, and engineering. And if you want even more of that, I'm going to be doing some exclusive videos. Now, these videos will be way more in depth than the ones I have on my channel, and I'll actually be dropping presets, templates. So if you're interested in joining, you can join through YouTube's membership program, which is next to the subscribe button. If you do consider joining, I really appreciate y'all helping out the channel. It's going to help me get more guests, do more trips, and film more exclusive content with some of these top mixers and recording engineers. So anyways, back to the video. But the vocal tracking chain wasn't the only contributor to Dr. Dre's in-your-face and forward vocal sound. A lot of what contributed to this sound was the fact that he kept his vocals fairly dry.
The Dr. Dre formula of mixing a rap vocal where it's in your face, it's really dry, and when it's in your face and really dry, it gives you space for your other instruments to have fun, to play, and you can really pick up on the delays cleanly because there's no cloudy reverb fogging up, you know, the mix. And a lot of people will reverb, if that's a word, their vocal or their records.
But that's not to say Dr. Dre didn't use any reverb on his vocals. One thing Dre was an expert at was combining different room reverbs to give the impression of depth to the vocal without clouding up the mix. And funny enough, he used affordable reverb units like the Yamaha Rev 5 and the XPX 1000. And again, more than 20 years later, you'll still see some of those same reverbs in his rack in his new studio. Besides that, Dre made heavy use of the AMS RMX reverb. During that Snoop Dogg clip in the beginning of the video, you can see that unit lighting up, and a few of the XPX 1000s as well. And again, you can see Dre's use of reverb influence being passed on to mixtures like Mixed by Ali.
You were using like on the background vocals and on Kendrick's vocal?
It was a chamber, I think, from an RMS, or it was RMX. It was the chamber setting that we use on that.
The AMS?
The AMS, yeah. The AMS, RMS, yeah.
It wasn't ambience?
No, it wasn't ambience.
I was wrong, Nico.
It was a chamber that we like tweaked. We tweaked on the board some type of way. We did some crazy stuff.
Man, this is my baby right here, the AMS reverb, my main reverb right here. This baby.
But there were even more pieces of gear that added some additional flavor to Dre's vocals. A lot of the early Dre records were tracked to tape. While layering vocals, they would do different bounces. And every time these vocals went through the tape machine, it would impart a different color.
Studer tape machine. You know what I'm saying? Look at this, a beast. Right now, this is a big heater in the room. It takes up space in the corner. It just, usually used to have 2 tape machines here, and you used to put your reels on there, and you know, you had your tape heads, you cleaned your head, you put your reels on there, you see your tracks up here, and you just saw everything. It was all right there. You saw it all. And then back then, you know, look at this. This is the 2-inch. Look at how big this is, man. We used to do a lot of vocals. First you would do the drums on your first couple tracks, then you'd first always start with the hook. Because the hook, you needed so many tracks for the hooks. You need to double it and triple it and quad it, harmonies, this and that. So we'd take up these other tracks, you know, maybe like 17 through 24, 15, all this in here. You'd get a blend, and then you would just sample it, and then you would erase the tracks and you'd fly the hooks back in. So everything, you know, got sampled into the MPC, you would fly it back into places, then you would erase it and then just keep building from there, build the verse, da-da-da.
The tape machine was like a slot machine. It gave you triple whatever you put into it. Whatever you put on it, it automatically came back better. It came out in the 70s, but, you know, it was the 90s where it just was, everybody was using it. It's the greatest tape machine ever.
Tape does a little distortion. It's called third harmonic distortion. That when you hit that tape just right, it gives a roundness, gives you a warmth, and that's why you listen to those, you know, those early, you know, Death Row or, you know, Tupac records and all those joints. Why they have that maybe that little extra love, that little extra warmth. You know, like you feel like it's a blanket, you know, covering.
I hope y'all enjoyed learning about Dr. Dre's vocal mixing and recording secrets. If you did enjoy the video, please don't forget to like and subscribe, as it really helps out the channel. Anyways, I'll see you on the next video.